I'll quickly move on to a few issues. One is the Kaleshwaram project. Of course, the Congress and the BJP are talking about the safety point, which they say because of the cracks in the barrages and the pillars, that there is a safety issue. But my question to you, other than of course the safety, is the project cost itself. There has been a lot of criticism that the project benefit ratio, cost ratio does not work out, that you created an SPV for the reason that the government will not have a load of this money that has been paid. So, how do you look at the criticism on the cost?
Well, firstly, people need to understand the topography of Telangana before they can start making any kind of remarks or comments or start heaping criticism on us. Telangana's topography, if you look at it, the entire landscape is at an altitude which is higher than where the rivers actually flow from. So Krishna and Godavari, the two lifelines of Telangana, the two important rivers, flow at a much lower altitude than the entire lands which are arable and suitable for cultivation. So as a result, we have no choice, literally no choice, but to ensure that we lift water and then in a stage-wise manner ensure that all the chain tanks in the landscape, which is about 46,000 lakes and tanks in the hinterland, all of them are linked and made sure that you stabilize the existing cut, provide new command area as well. That's the only way we can do it. Or the other option could be, using the gravity tunnels and, basically going inside the Earth's crust and making sure that we actually use gravity instead of using pumping, which is, of course, humongously expensive. The other challenge is, just so you understand, today, since you mentioned Kaleshwaram, Kaleshwaram is a project where we've built barrages, which the one you mentioned, Medigadda, is at about 82 meters above sea level. And we use multiple stages of lifting to lift water all the way from 82 meters all the way up to 618 meters. Hyderabad, just so you have a fair reference, is at 535 meters above sea level. So we have to use multiple stages of lifting to bring water all the way here. Kaleshwaram is a multi-purpose project. It's the world's largest lift irrigation project. It's multi-purpose because it serves your irrigation needs, serves your drinking water needs. It also serves your industrial consumption needs. It proposes to irrigate 45 lakh acres of land. It also stabilizes a lot of existing cut, and most importantly, like I said, drinking water and industrial consumption is also factored in.
But is the cost justified?
I'm telling you. I'm going to come to that. See, the original design of the project, original proposal of the project rather, it was named Pranahita Chevilla, the original project, back in 2004 and 5 when Congress government was here. They had called it Pranahita Chevilla, and the original plan was quite, if you ask me, quite incompetent and quite, incipient. The original plan was to lift water from a place called Tumidiheti, which is nearly 300 kilometers away from Hyderabad, and bring water all the way past Hyderabad to 300 kilometers. There was not a single reservoir. All the way it was pump houses and canals. There was not a single reservoir system. Now, conventional wisdom will tell you, Dhanya, that when you have water gushing into your home, when you get water like drinking water for 2 hours or 1.5 hours, depending on which part of India you live in, what would you do? Conventional wisdom will tell you that when you have water for 1.5 hours, a limited time, you will fill up all the pots, all the vessels, etc., store it. In Godavari or in any other lifeline, when there is a flood, you would lift water, store it so that you basically waterproof, for a drought or for a bad time. Kaleshwaram, when Honorable Chief Minister started reviewing the project after we assumed office in 2014, he decided that we'll shift it from Tumidiheti to Medigadda for one reason. First of all, Tumidiheti was a point of contention for Maharashtra because submergence was all in Maharashtra and they wouldn't allow it, and it would be an interstate dispute like Kerala and Karnataka and Kaveri on the river Kaveri. So we did not want that. We said, okay, we would want to complete because water was one of the biggest issues in the Telangana agitation. So we said we want to complete it. We don't want to get into interstate disputes. So we moved it downstream to a point where there is more water available, across different seasons. Medigadda is a point of confluence of Godavari and Pranahita. From there we lift water. An earlier proposal was to lift 1 TMC of water every single day. 1 TMC is exactly what Hussain Sagar in Hyderabad is. What we had done was we had redesigned the entire project. Instead of 1 TMC, we decided that we'll lift 2 TMCs of water every day. So that in itself means doubling of pumping capacity, doubling of ability to lift water, so pumps, storages, etc. Zero storage was original design. We added 147 TMC of reservoir capacity, all of which are complete now, by the way. And more importantly, what we've also done is, instead of using just canals, we also went for a mix of tunnels, 100 plus kilometers of tunnels, and thousands of kilometers of canals. Project has been started and completed within a short span of 4 years.
But this design
I'll
change,
tell
okay.
you. All necessary clearances have been obtained from Central Water Commission. See, a project of this magnitude, which costs 80,000 crores, and I have to come to the cost. Original plan was 40,000 crore plan. But what all have been added? 147 TMCs of reservoir capacity, a doubling of pumping capacity, and of course the cost difference from 2004-5 to 2014-15, 10 years later, steel, cement, etc., etc. As a result, the project cost has doubled from 40,000 crores to 80,000 crores. Now we have some very bright gentleman from the Congress party called Rahul Gandhi, who comes here, goes to town, goes to Medigadda barrage where a couple of piers have allegedly sunk. He goes there, he looks at an expansion joint, which typically is seen in any bridge or any barrage. Looks at an expansion joint, which is basically there for contraction and expansion during winter and summer. This man has no clue. That's why he's called Pappu of India. So he goes there and looks at the expansion joint and he calls it a crack. And then he clicks a picture and posts it on Twitter and says, "Dekho bhai, khatam ho gaya, barrage khatam." First thing is, the total project cost is 80,000 crore. And Rahul Gandhi says 1 lakh crore ka gotala. Now what do I call him? I don't know. The project is completed, Telangana's agriculture is expanded, and most importantly, one barrage where there was a problem. The total cost of that barrage is 1839 crores, 1839 crores. It is built by one of the most reputed agencies in the world, L&T. Now L&T also has a defect liability period. They have already issued a statement saying, if there is an engineering problem, we are here to rectify it at our cost, zero cost to the exchequer, not a single paisa burden on the exchequer. So this whole hue and cry that there is corruption, there is this, the project has sunk, the project is destroyed.
The union government's report also saying that maybe there is a problem with the design.
Yeah, the problem is with the union government, not with the project, because the union government, unfortunately, is so obsessed with basically showing us in poor light. They'll use every agency. They call it NDSA report. I call it NDA report, because the gentleman and the team that came here, they did not even actually go down and take a soil sample. They just went back in 2 days. They've splashed the report, and what's even more interesting, Dhanya, is the report was not sent to us first. It was sent to the media first. 2 days the report was published. Let me ask you this. What are the intentions of this team? They go to visit one barrage, and then they actually go out and say nasty things about 3 other barrages, which they've not even set foot in. So what does that tell you? It's politically motivated. It's basically doctored in BJP office in Delhi. And the other thing I'll also point out, today people who make a hue and cry about the barrage, there is basically a problem. Yes, of course. And by the way, this is not the first time this problems have been noticed in any irrigation project. There were similar problems in Prakasham barrage, in Congress government, in Kaleshwaram barrage, in Nagarjuna Sagar. I can show you a number of examples, Farakka in West Bengal. So the thing is, engineering problems that come up. See, when you've constructed a home, if you have constructed a home, post-occupation of the home, if you see a water leakage somewhere or some defect somewhere, you'd go about rectifying it, not destroy the entire house and rebuild it from the scratch. There is no other alternative to bringing water to the fields of Telangana other than lift irrigation, first point. So the cost, whatever is being alleged or viability that is being questioned, is nonsense, because there is no other alternative. Show me another alternative to bring water to Telangana's barren fields.
So the cost, according to the CAG audit report, is 14,000 crores per year has to be paid back for the loans.
Did you see the wealth that is being created by 45
the CAG says that the wealth is not, in the sense that the Kaleshwaram project itself was supposed to create some wealth for the government.
Of course it
but
is.
Those activities have not been started.
I'll tell you what, 68 lakh metric tons of paddy production happened in 2014. It has now increased to 3.5 crore metric tons of paddy production in 2022. And most importantly, we were 15th largest paddy producer in the country in 2014. Now we are number 1. How did this happen but for Kaleshwaram? Can somebody tell me that?
So you're saying you can bear the cost, even if it's...
Absolutely. In fact, I would go to the extent of saying Kaleshwaram project absolutely will become a self-sustaining project. because of all the wealth that has been created for the state.
That is a huge statement.
It is a huge statement. Of
Okay.
course it is.
You're saying it will become a self-sustaining project.
Yes, it will, because of what rich dividend the state will reap, the farming community will reap, and the wealth it will create for the state. Yes.
News Laundry
The News Minute.
News Laundry,
The News Minute, News Laundry and the News Minute
are coming together.
साथ आ रहे हैं
5 states, 2 independent media organizations and 1 team.
so log on to newslaundry.com,
Contribute to the News Minute and News Laundry Election Fund.
Joint Election Fund.
TNM, NL,
Joint Election Fund.
तो हमारा सहयोग करें
Contribute now.
Because we are stronger together.
क्योंकि साथ साथ मिलकर ही हम सब मजबूत होंगे.
क्योंकि सागे आपा मजबूत रेसा
Kalisi untene balanga untam.
we're stronger together.
and we're even stronger with you.